Man, does anybody else think it's weird that there's just like all of a sudden two shootings right before an election? It's kind of weird. It's like, and there's like the worst possible type shootings too. It's like 18-year-old buys two AR-15s on his birthday, and then it's like, you know, first of all, so I used to be at FFL, and I've actually transferred a few rifles to some younger people, 18, 19. Um, that's weird behavior. You're gonna buy two rifles on your 18th birthday. Usually, an 18-year-old would be very happy to just have one rifle, right? Or like buying two rifle is a behavior of somebody who's like, prepping or been doing this, for a while, like has lots of guns. None of this stuff makes sense. The fact that he, um, went and just like murdered a bunch of kids, it's almost like I don't know. It just feels a little psyopy to me. Like, why, whatever somebody's been playing with that kid's head and gotten his head. There's just absolutely nothing about that makes sense. The fact that he, is the only thing that doesn't really make sense is that he's not like doesn't have a super white name because that would help the narrative for the mainstream media. But I guess it doesn't really matter. But damn, this is and I know you think I'm crazy, but it goes back to food. I mean, this is obvious mental illness. There's absolutely no other way to describe that somebody would murder children like that. Um, but my experience with most everyone that I come in contact with, there's some level of mental illness, and it's people think that I'm crazy when I talk about the different things that are. I went through the experience of cutting those things out, and I know what I felt like before, and I know what it feels like not to eat anything that has anything to do with plants, and it's night and day difference. I mean, your brain, your level of hey, buddy, your capacity to think, your cognition, everything goes up. If these kids are, they all they eat is packaged food. They never get any meat. They never get any cooked, any properly cooked meat. If they do get meat, it's processed crap or whatever. It just seems like nobody's paying attention to the food aspect of this, and it's huge. It's absolutely huge. Um, it is very easy on a plant-based diet to become depressed. It's a very big problem with vegans. It's a very big problem with vegetarians. Hitler was a vegetarian. Right before he started killing off Jews, he became a vegetarian. I don't know if most people know that, but it was a very short, like, became a vegetarian, started murdering Jews within a few months. It was crazy, right? There are things in plants that mess with your natural processes in your body. Okay, you got lectins, oxalates, anti-nutrients. Some of them actually prevent. Hey, give me that, buddy. Hold on one second. Give me that. That's daddy's. Thank you, sir. Some of the things that are in plants literally stop you from being able to absorb the nutrients that you are eating. I mean, you guys have to address this. If you're giving your kids crap food and letting them eat, they're eating out every day. They're getting exposed to these seed oils. If you go to a restaurant, you're getting exposed to seed oils. I don't care. You can try to argue that point. You are going to get exposed to seed oils at some point at a restaurant. It's very very difficult not to, right? If you're letting your kids, you're promoting them going out to eat all the time. They're eating out of the cupboard instead of out of the refrigerator. We just stop buying stuff and there's nothing in our cupboard because everything that we need is comes out of our refrigerator. But this mental illness is spawned by the food. It's the only thing that's changed. It was like, oh, why is there's a new shooting every you know well, it seems to only happen right before an election, which doesn't make any sense to me. But um, there, it's the food. These kids are mentally ill because they are not getting the proper nutrients. And then when they're eating things that do have nutrients in them, the other foods that they're eating are preventing them from being absorbed. Coffee is a neurotoxin. It does not allow your brain to properly operate. It is a neurotoxin. Okay, you can see it if you have kids and you can see bags under their eyes, yellowness in the eyes, any sort of skin irritation. Skin gives it away 100% of the time. Skin, nails, eyes. Okay, if those three things, if they're not 100% healthy, they don't look exactly the way they're supposed to. Guaranteeing there's some sort of underlying pathology. There's something going on in the body they're not getting. There's a nutrient missing. Your kids will not be healthy if you continue to let them eat processed crap, the processed garbage. And a matter of fact, switching them to vegetables, even worse. Not helping. Doesn't help at all. There's nothing in vegetables that you can't get from meat, and there are a ton of things in vegetables that are known carcinogenic compounds, known toxins. What do you think caffeine is? Caffeine is an actual pesticide designed to kill bugs. Okay? Do they on the when you spray for bugs around your house? It says don't ingest this. Why do you think it's like whatever affects the bug will probably affect you? Okay, you got to stop giving like you. These people make excuses. I said before, like people that feed their kids chicken nuggets every day, you shouldn't be allowed to have kids. That's my personal opinion. You that is child abuse. Yes, it's easy. Little Johnny doesn't want to eat anything else. Well, let little Johnny starve until he's ready and he's hungry. I grew up with 7 brothers. When there was a time that we were having one of my brothers was like, oh, I don't want to eat. I don't, he would refuse to eat whatever mom made. My dad was like, listen, I'll put a chain on the refrigerator, and he did it one time, right? All we had in the pantry was like, and he locked the pantry. He put a lock on our pantry door. We had a pantry door. There was like bread and water for like a day. That was it. That never happened again. That happened once, right? That never happened again, right? Because you're right. We eat what's available to us, right? And I'm thankful for that because now I know like these kids. These kids are just manipulative. Like they're gonna get away with whatever and their parents their brains are inflamed too. So of course they're getting away with it. Listen, I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm just saying stop feeding your kids this crap. It's garbage. You have to because this if your kids are depressed, your kids are supposed to be depressed. They don't even have a fucking mortgage. Why are they depressed? Do they have like what reason? When I was a kid, we didn't worry about anything. We went out like we worried about the sun going down too soon. It was like we weren't gonna have enough time to play outside. That was the worst thing that we had to worry about. And it just seems like I don't know. It's nothing about this shooting really makes any sense to me. Kids, I have never seen an 18-year-old buy 2 rifles on their birthday. That seems like an intentionally placed idea in his head. Hey, here's $700 cash or whatever. Like who's messaging the guy? We will never know. We won't know what's really going on in that kid's phone. Could be some CIA operative like messing with the kid, planning. Like it just. And the people that are easily manipulated are the people that are being poisoned. And if you are eating a plant-based diet, even worse, processed food, it's going to lead to depression. It's going to lead to weight gain. Probably going to lead to other things that aren't good for you, like drug use. If you want to get away from that stuff, I'll tell you how to do it. Or I'll show you somebody who does know how to do it. You don't have to listen to me. But man, I can't imagine, like just learning that your kids went to school and then they're not coming back. All because some kid is, now that kid's gone. There's another life that's gone, right? And who knows what happened to that kid, right? It's for stuff like that to happen. Is like a lot of abuse and a lot of a lot of the abuse comes from a cycle. My parents ate like this. Their parents, it's like 2 generations back. It seems like the younger kids now. I mean, they just like we didn't have crap food when I was growing up. I mean, there's maybe a few snacks here and there, but they certainly weren't as bad as they are now. They weren't as processed. I don't remember. Mom made a meal. It was like yeah, we ate vegetables though, but I don't think we really knew any different. But most of the time, like the main part of the meal was the meat. It was either chicken or steak or something delicious. But man, I feel so bad for those parents, and I could say that it goes back to us. Like we have to take personal responsibility for our kids, and number one thing the number one impact that you have on their life is like what you recommend, and especially with their food. Everything you eat has an effect on how you feel, right? All plant material, no matter what, has some sort of side effect. Okay, all medications are derived or at some point, maybe they're made from plants, right? All drugs have a side effect. They're all made from plants. Anything that is a plant, when given to a human, will have an effect, and it'll have a side effect. Okay, there are side effects to eating rice, to eating broccoli. They have chemicals in them that will have a reaction. Okay, so you have to think of plants as a prescription basically, because whatever it does for you, right? Cocaine makes you feel good. Next day you feel like crap. That's your side effect. That goes on the prescription labels. Hey, we'll make you feel headaches, or make you have headaches. We'll make you feel this. Blah 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 blah. All plants have side effects. The only thing that doesn't have a side effect, well, it does have a side effect. It makes you feel great. Is steak, meat, right, or any animal product. It's not bullshit. It's real. It's 100% real. My entire life, my outlook on life, my capacity to think, everything has changed dramatically, and it was super fast, right? And I just want to be able to share it with you. And like, I just watch my country. My country's being destroyed from the inside out, and it's by weak people. And you're not weak because you just don't know any better, right? You don't know what you don't know. We are being told by our governments and the food pyramid that was designed for us. All that shit is all based on lies. It is all 100% bullshit. There's absolutely no reason to eat any of that stuff. And they know that indigenous populations that eat their indigenous food, the military knows this. When you go into a place, if they eat their indigenous diet, they are extremely hard to take over that country. They will fight tooth and nail. They'll hide under fucking trees for 6 days and they're fine, right? They pop out and bam, shoot. Remember Vietnam, right? If we've been going into countries for the last 50 years saying, hey, we're gonna industrialize you, we're gonna give you McDonald's, we're gonna give you Chick-fil-A, we're gonna give you Popeyes, and they know what's gonna happen. This is gonna be the easiest country in the world to take over because of these foods. You feed them this toxic neurotoxic crap, 100% plant-based and this and that, and push for veganism, and you're a good person because you're vegan. Bullshit. Veganism is destroying the world. It's destroying our environment, specifically 1,000 times worse than any cow or animal meat is doing. It's lies. It's lies, because they know it keeps you dumb and it keeps you stupid. You ain't gonna be able to fight back eating the fucking diet that you've been on. You got to do something different. You got to is that funny though? I want an army of people around me that know and can think and would actually be able to fight back. There's a few people in between. Most healthy people eat meat. At least some. They may still eat plants. Not everybody reacts to plants the same, but I can tell you that if you eliminate them altogether, you will elevate. You will bump up. It will make you feel better. You don't know what you don't know. And I keep telling people, just try it. If you don't like it, you can always go back to eating crap. If you say, oh, this sucks, yeah, it's hard. It is hard. It's not easy. We go out to eat and stuff, and we go out with somebody, no, I just make a choice and I stand behind it. No, I don't want to eat that crap. I don't want that. It doesn't make me feel good. Why would I do that? If I'm going to do something that makes me feel bad, I'm going to have fun with it, right? Ayahuasca, cocaine, something like that. If I'm going to kill myself, I would rather do it with something that's fun. With food, it doesn't make any sense. There's no enjoyment. It's just, issues and health problems, and let me pay for this medication for the rest of my life. Fuck that shit, dude. We're not doing that. I'm not letting my kids do that either. My kids are significantly brighter and smarter and stronger than other parents that I know and their kids. And I don't want to point it out and be a jerk, but this is your responsibility. What are your kids going to do? What chance do they have at life if they think that they're supposed to be eating this crap all the time? I don't know. I do feel bad for the parents though. This is it's the worst thing ever. But it's also our fault collectively. We have to start right now, and you have to start with you. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till next week. Don't wait till you get enough information. Start doing something different. You want a big change, you got to make a big change. You don't want your kids to be in the news doing something like this. You have to give them the strength and the foods that make them strong. And it ain't plants. I know you think the plants are good for us and all this stuff, but I guarantee if you just please read the Carnivore Code. Just that book. And you know what? Paul Saladino, he's wishy-washy sometimes, whatever. But the data that's in his book is pretty accurate. To the point of he breaks everything down for you. He tells you what's in the plant, why you shouldn't eat them, how it affects you, what's in meat, how it affects you, and why it's good for you. And he lists studies. He goes over that in pretty good detail. I think he's a little nuts with his fruit intake now, but whatever. If he feels good, let him do it. Right? Who cares? Do what feels best for you. But I mean, I we know what the outcomes are of a plant-based diet because we're seeing it around us. Everybody's fat. Everybody's sick. Everybody's low energy. I don't need coffee. Fucking 2 o'clock in the afternoon when everybody's feeling down. I'm sharp, sharp as a tack. Right before bed, I'm sharp as a tack. I don't have any of this up and down that you get when you're on a sugar-based diet. Human beings are obligate carnivores. We are supposed to be eating meat. When you eat anything other than the diet is specific to your species, you have problems. That's what you're seeing around you. It's every problem that comes from here starts with your mouth. Okay? Talk to you guys another time.